Hi, my name's Tim, and today I'll be taking you through creating an application, setting up a policy, and running a static analysis test. So first of all, creating an application. So what you first want to do is go to Start a Scan. Now I'm going to say New Application, and OK. Now you create a name, something meaningful. So it's Veracode, something meaningful to your company so that you can find it later on. Description tag. Now the policy determines the target for security quality, defines the required scans, and sets a required timeline for fixing and mitigating flaws. The policy control, that is. Business criticality is how critical is the application, but the scan will not change on this, so it's set it to medium. So like if it's very high, like a matter of life and death, high would be like on the internet, having to do with money and that, etc. So I'm going to say select medium, and then the policy, it sets a threshold that the application must meet to pass security standards. So you can select one of these. It will select one automatically based off your business criticality, and you can create your own one. And anytime you're not sure what something means, you can just click this, and it will take you to. It'll like show you more about what it's got to do. So yeah, it shows the minimum score needed for Veracode medium. So it's 70. And scan requirements, remediation, etc. Now this organizational information is optional metadata. It helps you define the app defined later on. So what we can do, just can actually call CA. Let's go. So continue. Cool. So now I'm just gonna save this. There's a lot of stuff that you can put in here, lots of metadata to help even further define your application. Okay, cool. Now what you're going to do is, so that's now you've created an application. If you go to home, you should see over there we've got SAST. Cool. So now what we're going to do is go through policies. So creating up your own policies. So you want to go here to policies. Okay, you're going to want to add new policy. I'm going to give you a policy a name. Again, something meaningful. I'm just going to name it policy for this demonstration. Give it a description. There's a policy. Now this, if you tick it, it's used to calculate scan results shared with you from vendors. So we should leave that unticked. Go to next. Okay, yeah, you can add new rules. Rule type, so whatever it is, finding in CWE, findings within scan types, so it like could be for like disallowing SQL injections, whatever it may be. So we're just gonna add one here. General rules, security standard. So select was 2017. What you can really select whatever you want. Okay, cool. Let's go. You can add grace periods, and minimum scan scores and evaluation timeframes, but I'm not going to add that now. Go next. Okay, and then yeah, you can select scan type. I'm just going to select once, or you can have it. You can select the type of scan, so static, dynamic, or manual penetration testing. So just going to keep that at any scan type and once, and finish. There we go. You have now created a policy. I'm just going to delete that for now. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the home page. Okay. So now you can see I've already created a few applications. I'm not gonna go into the one that we just created. I'm gonna go into this WebGoat one that previously been created, and we're gonna go through running a static analysis scan. Okay, so what you can want to do is go to start a scan and start a static scan. Okay, it'll give you a default scan name, but you'll want to make this something more meaningful to your company. Then there's optional application information like life cycle stage and launch date. I'm just going to leave that as is. And then auto scan after pre-scan. So if this is ticked, then basically what it's going to do, as it says here, is just going to start a scan after the pre-scan is successful. And yeah, again, you can click here to see more information about what this is. So I'm just going to leave that as off now. Save and continue. Okay, now we need to select files. So I'm gonna click here, select a file. Okay, I'm gonna go find WebGoat. Here we go. WebGoat.war. It's written in Java, so it's a WAR file. Okay, now it's just progress. Shouldn't take too long. It's not very large. Cool. So now I'm gonna go next. Okay, so now you can see it says here validating upload. So basically what it's doing is it's looking at the package to determine if all the correct components were collected and that there's no like corrupted data, and then like doing that it then finds out where the starting point is, and it represents wherever the application can find external data. So basically what that means is only the required parts of the app are selected, and then again checking for corrupted data. And then over here you can see again auto scan after pre-scan. I'm gonna leave that off, and yeah, this does sometimes take quite a while, so just be patient. Okay, so once the validating is done, you're gonna see a page like this. So this is simple mode, and if you click here, you'll see the modules. So there's one that was selected, that's the WAR file size and that, and the platform, and unselected was JavaScript file that was found, and that's not being selected. But this is quite a basic overview, so we're going to go to advanced mode. Here you can see current upload and previous upload. And what you'll normally expect is that your current upload will be slightly larger than your previous, because you probably added some files or whatever changes you may have made. And if it is smaller, then that means obviously that you have removed something, made the application smaller. Now, you can review your modules. There's the JavaScript file, and you can see there's a whole bunch of support issues, a whole bunch of errors. On the right here, you see the errors, size, platform of your file path, and module file. But the status shows all the errors, and what you're going to want to do is click on this, and then it shows the description of the issue, how to fix, and consequence if it's not addressed. So you're going to go to help here. Now this can also be accessed from the main home page. On the top right, you'll see a blue help button, and you can also come here. And yeah, what you're going to want to see is the packaging requirements of your application. So it's important to know how to package your application before scanning it, so that you can get the best results. And this includes like exposing debugging symbols and whatever it may be. And this shows you everything you need to know, whether it's packaging Java or Python applications, whatever it may be. So you're going to go back here, close that. As you can see, that's unselected, like showed in the basic, in the simple mode. And yeah, you can see selected is WebGoat, and it is okay. So we're going to start a scan. Also, you can technically start a scan with these issues, but it's advised to fix the issues before so that you can get the best results. Okay, now it's in progress, so the scan's gonna be completed. This might take a while, just depending on the size of your application. And what I find is sometimes you just need to refresh the page to see if it's finished. Okay, so now the scan is complete. You can see I got a score of 52, and on the left here you can go to review report, but I'm going to go to results first on the left. Okay, so this shows the amount of flaws by severity, and as well as like trend data. So you can see trend data, remediation status, how many of these are still open, and your top risks. So like cross-site scripting, SQL injection, whatever it may be, it shows it here. Now we're going to go to review report. And here's a better in-depth view. So by severity, you can see very high, what type it is, the amount, and a nice graph of here showing exactly how many flaws are where, vulnerabilities are where, sorry. The policy control shows how your application stacks up to the policy that you selected. So you can see a whole bunch of details on that. And the findings and recommendation tab shows information on your flaws found from high severity to low severity, showing all information you need to know about them. Mitigated flaws, so if a flaw for some reason is not applicable to your application, let's say it's not a vulnerability in your application for some other reason, then you can mitigate the flaw. Okay. Now what we're going to want to go to is triage flaws. Okay, triage flaws, you can see quite a nice breakdown once it's loaded of all the flaws. They've got an ID, severity, exploitability, so how likely is it to be exploited, your CWE, ID, and name, which is your common weakness enumeration, and basically just explains the problem, publish time, module, source, so show like the line that's causing the vulnerability, data pair, data paths, status, and mitigation status. And now what you also see is you can see the flaw details here, so you can see exactly what the flaw is and remediation, and you can get some better guides on how to fix it. And you can also order these by let's say by severity, and so to order by severity, and you can select this to check out the flaw. Yeah, and now over here you can see that you can actually upload source files so that you can view it in Veracode. So you can just upload it here. If you just click here, then you can choose the file and upload it, but I'm not going to do that now. And so that is it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.